People are leaving California. We all see it. Some are running to Arizona, Texas, Nevada, some to Tennessee, and yes, even South Carolina. And then there are the ones who moved back. The second they realize they miss the food, the weather, and not having time to drive more than a mile to a Target, Starbucks, or basically anything that makes life easier. We left California, as you know, once, and we came back, boomerangs. So I understand people who leave and I understand people who stay. I've lived both sides of that decision. And honestly, California is the only place where you can complain about the cost of living at 10 a.m. and be bragging about the weather and ordering some bomb taquitos by noon. It's chaotic, dramatic, expensive, irresistible. Sounds a little bit like me. Today, we're breaking down why people leave California, where they actually go, and the very real pros and cons of moving versus staying here in sunny Southern California. And if you stay to the end, I'll give you my free California real estate tax guide. Everything you need in one place. Hi, I'm Kelly Martinez, your Orange County insider. Apparently you're a realtor gypsy. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the OC. I wasn't born here. I spent my first 16 years in Connecticut shoveling driveways in the winter and selling seashells at the Jersey Shore in the summers. Then the next 16 years in Tucson, Arizona, shaking out my pants for spiders, cautiously grabbing lock boxes because snakes, while soaking up the best sunsets and Mexican food on the planet. Then 10 years in San Diego where I started my family, and then across the country we went for 3 years in Charleston, South Carolina during the COVID years. Honestly, Charleston was a blessing. After that, 6 months in Santa Clara. Yes, we hit all the tourist spots. Football, hockey, concerts, except no ocean, big problem. And finally, back south to the sweet spot, Orange County. So trust me when I say I've lived the maybe we should leave California journey and let's try somewhere new journey. The okay, yeah, we're coming back journey, and the I know exactly which cities I will never live in again, but I'll happily visit journey. And in today's market with prices, taxes, and lifestyle changes, people are seriously debating this decision like never before. Let's start with why people leave, because it's pretty universal. High home prices, high everyday costs, property taxes for new buyers, state income taxes, and family closeness. I am done hearing traffic as an excuse. It's everywhere. At least in OC, you know when and where to avoid. Now LA, that may be another story. And for retirees, especially retired teachers, firefighters, police officers, and military, California taxes almost every type of retirement income except Social Security, meaning your pension, tax, your withdrawals, tax, disability or survivor benefits, often tax. So if you're a retired police officer from LAPD or a firefighter from OC, your pension stretches way less here than in Arizona or let's say Tennessee. So where's everyone moving? People aren't just leaving randomly, they're leaving in patterns. Here are the top destinations. Arizona, lower cost of living, lower property taxes, it's close to Southern California for visits. The cons, obviously extreme heat, higher utility bills, and there's no coast. And yes, your vacations will still remain here in Southern California. Texas, pros, there's no state income tax, affordable homes, and there's tons of new builds. People love new builds. The cons, higher property taxes, humidity, tornadoes, freezes, big lifestyle adjustment. Most Californians who leave impulsively do come back. I'm expecting a few actually. Then we have Nevada. Pros, no state income tax, close to home, cheaper than California. The cons, also very hot, limited job diversity, schools and healthcare aren't SoCal level. Tennessee, pros, no state income tax, affordable, beautiful homes, big yards, space, lots of former Californians. The cons, bugs, humidity and storms, some say cultural differences, snow and ice, and it might be pretty far from your family if they're still in California. South Carolina, since you mentioned it. Pros, affordable, lots of new builds. There's gorgeous cities, Charleston, for example. Hospitality and that potential Southern charm. Does it really exist? Strong community feel. The cons, humidity, lots of bugs. And in fact, when you bring up the bugs, they say, yes, our environment is very strong here. Hurricanes, 6 months a year, it is hurricane season. It's a very different pace of life. And if your family is still on the West Coast, it's a very far distance. And let me just say this little note on natural disasters. Yes, California has earthquakes and wildfires, but other states, they've got hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, lightning, ice storms. It's all tit for tat. Pick your chaos. Believe it or not, California is not the worst. New Jersey has the highest property taxes in the nation. My grandfather owned multiple properties in New Jersey, and he owned them free and clear because he owned them for so long, and he always complained about the property tax. Crooks, he'd say. New York, high income tax and high cost of living. Connecticut, high taxes and expensive everything. Illinois, taxes and economic instability. So no, California isn't the bottom of the barrel. It's just California, extreme everything. And listen, some blame politics, some blame leadership. If Spencer Pratt is even 50% correct, things are wild out here. But that's another video, or just follow Spencer Pratt. People stay because the obvious, the weather is undefeated, the beaches and mountains and desert, the food, cultural diversity, opportunities from tech and film, real estate, medicine, entrepreneurship, the fitness culture. Nobody is getting snowed in here. The fitness, another level. And yes, weed is legal. The hardest part, honestly, leaving and then getting priced out when you try to come back. I would say keep your property if you can, rent it out just to make sure you made the right move. Prop 13 caps property tax increases about 2% a year. So if you bought your home in 1990, you are thriving. If you're buying in 2025, your taxes reflect today's prices, not your neighbors from 30 years ago. That is why new buyers often feel that squeeze. Then we have Prop 19, which is huge for our 55 and older sellers. Prop 19 replaced the old Prop 60 and 90 rules. So if you're 55 and older, severely disabled, or a wildfire victim, you can sell your home, buy anywhere in California, and transfer your low tax base up to 3 times. It's a game changer for downsizers. Capital gains. It's like the worst 2 words ever. When you sell, your profit is taxed. California taxes your capital gains as regular income, but if you live there 2 of the last 5 years, there's a $200,000 exemption if you're single and $500,000 exemption if you're married. Many SoCal sellers exceed that, hence the planning. Then 1031 exchanges for our investors. You sell, you reinvest, and then you defer your taxes. It's huge in OC and LA where rental values are really high. And a quick note on mansion tax. You may have heard of this. In the city of LA, luxury sales over $5 million dropped nearly 70% after this mansion tax took effect. The good news, this does not apply to most of Orange County or San Diego. Wherever you move, I suggest commit to 5 years. Regret comes from impulse moves. Rent first, always. Never buy in a new state until you've survived all the seasons, the weather, and the culture. When we moved to Charleston, I sold 60 to 70 homes a year, and most sellers weren't from Charleston. They moved there because everyone heard of Charleston. They'd only been there for 1 or 2 years. They got lucky during COVID because the price jumped so significantly. But in a normal market, that doesn't happen. So rent first. Because if you don't like it in a year or 2, it's going to be hard to even break even. I've seen clients tour Orange County homes, then they get a whim and move to Texas or Colorado, and 6 months later, oh no, we made a mistake, they say. And I'm just saying, know before you go. Loving where you live is everything. If you want a simple breakdown of everything we talked about, property taxes, capital gains, Prop 19, where Californians are moving, and how to decide if you should go, comment taxes below, and I'll send you my free California estate tax guide. And if you're buying or selling in Southern California and want someone who actually understands both the numbers and the lifestyle behind this decision, I am your girl. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.